You know that feeling, right? That tightness in your chest when you look at your to-do list?
Oh, definitely.
It's not just long, it feels heavy. Like this huge weight of things you have to do.
Yeah, like a mountain range stretching out.
Exactly. And it follows you, doesn't it? Pops into your head when you're trying to work or relax, or worse, wakes you up at night thinking, oh, gotta add that.
Mm-hmm. That constant stress, the overwhelm, feeling like you're always playing catch up, never quite getting there.
Totally. It's exhausting.
It really is. And that feeling, it's not just in your head, it has real effects.
Yeah.
Think about that list. It's a huge cognitive burden.
Cognitive burden.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean exactly?
Well, your brain is constantly juggling all those items,
Sure.
tracking them, worrying about them, trying to figure out what comes next, even the stuff you're not doing right now.
Right, so it's background noise, but like really loud background noise.
Precisely. And that leads straight to decision fatigue. You're worn out just deciding what to tackle. And, there's that low-level anxiety humming along.
Yeah.
Some research actually links physical clutter, like a messy desk, to higher stress hormones, cortisol, and a cluttered task list. It's pretty much the mental equivalent.
That makes sense. Seeing it all laid out can feel, well, paralyzing.
It really can.
Yeah.
It's genuinely demoralizing. You just don't know where to start. Or maybe you just shut down completely, especially if, executive function is already a challenge for you.
Right, like you're stuck before you even start. So that's what we're getting into today, the real stress of having way too many tasks on your plate. We've gathered insights from different places, productivity methods, the psychology behind overwhelm, even personal stories from people who found ways to cope.
Yeah, we want to unpack all that.
Our goal here is to give you some solid, practical ways to simplify things, lighten that mental load, and hopefully find a bit more peace and presence in your day.
Okay, so let's really dig in. First off, just acknowledging the problem is huge. It's not just being busy.
No, it's the anxiety that comes with it.
Right, that feeling you should be doing something else, even when you're trying to, relax or hang out with your family.
Oh, yeah. That inability to just be there because the list is whispering in your ear.
Exactly. One person we read about literally said their list was haunting them. They couldn't be fully present because the weight of the undone stuff was just always there.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So why? Why do we get so overwhelmed? What's going on psychologically?
Well, the sources point to a few common culprits. One really big one is perfectionism.
Ah, yes. The old, if I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all trap.
You got it. Perfectionism sets these sky-high standards that are often, frankly, impossible to meet.
Right.
So you either endlessly tweak things, trying to get them perfect, or you just put them off entirely because you're waiting for the perfect time or the perfect mood.
Which never comes.
Usually not. And then you might have that internal voice saying, this has to be flawless, or it's not worth doing. And when it inevitably isn't flawless.
You feel like a failure.
Exactly. It triggers disappointment, self-criticism, and then you avoid similar tasks even more next time. It's a tough cycle.
Okay, so perfectionism freezes you. What about worry? How does that stop us?
Worry's another major blocker. We often avoid tasks because we're anxious about the outcome.
Like opening that bill you know is going to be high.
Totally. Or making that phone call you're dreading, or booking that doctor's appointment because you're scared of what they might find. The anticipation of something negative or uncomfortable feels so bad that you avoid the very action that might actually resolve the worry. The task itself starts to feel like dread.
And sometimes it's not even about perfection or a specific bad outcome, is it? It's just the sheer size of it all.
Absolutely. That's pure overwhelm. You look at a huge project or that massive list, and your brain just goes, oh, too much.
Yeah.
It doesn't see the individual steps anymore, just this giant, scary blob of work. And that's a classic trigger for paralysis. You're not choosing not to do it. You're just stuck.
And putting it off feels good for like a second.
For a second, yeah. But then the pressure just builds and builds.
And that feeling of it's too much can also link up with like fear or doubting yourself.
Right. Low self-esteem or fear of failure. If you doubt you have the skills, or you're terrified of not meeting expectations, or just plain failing.
It feels safer not to even try.
Exactly. It's a protective instinct, really. But it stops you from growing or making progress. You kind of guarantee you won't succeed by not starting.
Okay, wow. So we've got this heavy list causing anxiety and shutdown, driven by things like perfectionism, worry, overwhelm, fear. It sounds pretty bleak.
It can feel that way.
But this is where it gets interesting. The sources suggest something kind of counterintuitive. maybe the answer isn't a fancier way to manage the giant list.
But actually shrinking the list itself.
Doing less, on purpose, to get more peace. Was that it?
That's the core idea. There's a real psychological boost when you intentionally limit what you're focusing on.
Why? Because you actually finish things.
Precisely. Completing even a couple of things gives you that tangible win. Little dopamine hit, a sense of accomplishment. It builds momentum and fights back against that feeling of futility a massive list creates.
Okay.
We saw this great example from a Reddit user. They said their super long lists were just making them anxious and feel defeated, seeing dozens of undone items just hammered home what they weren't doing.
So what did they do?
They started limiting their visible list to just 3 things. 3. And suddenly, they could focus, take action, actually make progress.
Wow, so that out of sight, out of mind thing really works here. If you're not constantly reminded of the other 50 things.
You can actually concentrate. It cuts down that cognitive burden we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
And that leads us nicely into some practical frameworks. Systems designed specifically to help you simplify and figure out what actually matters.
Yes, let's get practical. How do people actually do this? Stop staring at the mountain and find a manageable hill to climb.
Okay, one really well-known one is the Eisenhower matrix. It's fantastic for sorting tasks based on 2 simple things. Is it urgent? And is it important?
Right. Urgent is needs attention now, like a ringing phone or today's deadline. Important is contributes to my long-term goals, even if it's not due immediately.
Exactly. And that gives you 4 boxes, or quadrants.
Okay.
Quadrant 1, important and urgent. These are your crises, your deadlines. You got to do these immediately.
Right, the fires.
Quadrant 2, important, but not urgent. This is the crucial stuff for your goals planning, exercise, learning, relationships. You need to schedule time for these.
Okay, that's the proactive stuff.
Quadrant 3, urgent, but not important. Think interruptions, some emails, busy work, things that feel urgent but don't really move the needle. Ideally, you delegate these or maybe just avoid them.
The distractions.
And quadrant 4, not important and not urgent. Time wasters, mindless scrolling, etc. These you basically delete or do much later, if at all.
So the real power move is focusing on quadrant 2, the important but not urgent.
That's the key insight. So much of the stressful crisis stuff in quadrant, I actually started in quadrant 2.
Ah, because it got ignored when it was just important.
Exactly. It became an emergency because it would put off. So if you intentionally make time for quadrant 2, planning that project, getting sleep, exercising, quality family time, you prevent those future crises.
You stop the fires before they even start. That makes so much sense.
It's proactive stress reduction. Self-care and your big goals often live right there in quadrant 2.
Okay, I like that. What about the today, not today method? That sounded really helpful for the mental load.
Oh, this was great. It's deceptively simple, but really powerful for dealing with that haunted by the list feeling.
How does it work?
You have 2 lists. Your today list is super short, maybe just 3 or 4 things you can actually get done today, realistically.
Great.
Then your not today list is everything else. All the other stuff swirling around, the someday maybe ideas, things you could do, but you're not committing to today.
And the magic is?
The magic is the intentional act of moving something to not today. You consciously decide not to worry about it today. You give yourself permission to be okay with that.
Wow, that sounds liberating. It's not just putting it off, it's deciding to release it for now.
Exactly. It's like mentally packing up that other stuff and setting it aside. This frees up your brain power and emotional energy for today's focus.
Yeah.
And, crucially, for your actual life.
So you can actually relax with your family without the email list running in your head.
That's the goal, to be present. And you don't need fancy software. A notepad or a simple notes app works perfectly.
Permission to ignore productively. I like it. What about the 1-3-5 rule? Another way to limit things.
Yeah, 1-3-5 is another solid structure.
Yeah.
The idea is each day aim for 1 major task, 3 medium tasks, and 5 small tasks.
Okay, 1 big, 3 medium, 5 small.
It gives you a nice balance. The big task is a major accomplishment. The medium ones keep other important things ticking along. And the small ones, those are quick wins.
Little dopamine hits.
Exactly. Little boosts of, I did something, which really helps motivation, especially when you've been feeling stuck. And it's flexible. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3 on a crazy day. The point is setting realistic limits.
Okay, these are great for choosing what to do and stopping the overwhelm. But once you've picked your today items or your 1-3-5, how do you actually do them, especially the big, scary ones?
Right. That's the next piece. tactics for actually tackling the chosen tasks. And maybe the most critical thing for beating paralysis, especially with big tasks, is breaking them down.
Ah, the classic advice. But it works.
It really, really works.
Yeah.
A huge task feels impossible, but tiny steps, they feel doable.
So instead of plan the big presentation, it's outline key points, find 3 relevant stats, create title slide, like that.
Precisely. Look at the monster task, identify all the little pieces, list them in order, maybe guess how long each tiny step takes. Suddenly, outline key points feels like something you could start right now.
Okay, that makes it less scary.
And another powerful tactic mentioned again and again is simply just start.
Just start seems too simple.
I know. But getting started is often the hardest part. Taking that first tiny step breaks the inertia. It immediately starts chipping away at the anxiety around the task.
So like set a timer.
Yeah. Set a timer for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Commit to working only for that short time. It tricks your brain into beginning. Often, once you're rolling, you keep going. Making the start easy is key.
And if the task brings up that fear or self-doubt we talked about.
You got to tackle that head on,
Okay.
but practically. If you're afraid you lack the skills, ask. Can I learn just enough? Can I delegate a piece? Can I find a workaround?
Get creative.
Exactly. If it's fear of failure, okay, what's really the worst that could happen? Can I survive it? Can I get feedback early to avoid disaster? It's not about eliminating the fear, but finding a way forward with it, maybe by taking smaller, safer steps first.
Makes sense. So we've got ways to limit the list, prioritize, start, and break things down. But our surroundings and habits matter too, right? It's not just the list.
Oh, absolutely. Your foundation matters hugely. You can have the perfect system, but if you're running on empty or your environment is chaotic, it's going to be tough.
So like a morning routine, how does that help with task stress?
A good morning routine sets the tone. It's about starting the day intentionally, calmly, before the chaos hits.
Not just rolling out of bed into emails.
Right. Getting enough sleep is number one. Then maybe avoiding snooze, getting up, hydrating, maybe some movement, a decent breakfast, perhaps 5 minutes of quiet or reading something positive.
Setting yourself up right.
And importantly, this is a great time to look at that short, prioritized list for the day. You transition calmly from rest into focus. You approach tasks from control, not reaction.
Okay, I see that. And clutter. We mentioned physical clutter and stress. Digital clutter, too.
Definitely. Physical clutter is visually distracting, increases stress. Digital clutter does the same thing mentally. Endless notifications, overflowing inboxes, messy files.
My phone screen feels attacked sometimes.
Exactly. So, principles of digital minimalism help here. Be intentional with tech. Simplify your tools. Have a stop doing list for mindless scrolling. Schedule checking email instead of reacting instantly.
Clear out the noise.
Yes. Clear physical and digital space frees up mental space for what actually matters.
Creates room for focus, for calm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered the problem, the why, the power of simplifying, frameworks like Eisenhower and Today Not Today, tactics like breaking down tasks and just starting, and building good habits and environments. What's the big payoff here? It feels like more than just ticking boxes.
Oh, it absolutely is. The payoff is huge. It's a serious reduction in that chronic stress and mental load.
Lower anxiety.
Lower anxiety, way better focus, feeling more competent, and actually in control of your day instead of the list controlling you.
Okay.
And when you're not constantly fighting overwhelm, you get so much mental and emotional energy back. Energy you can use to be genuinely present in your life.
Like actually listening to your partner or really playing with your kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Savoring moments instead of having your mind always elsewhere. It improves work-life balance by creating real boundaries and presence. Ultimately, it's about taking back control over your attention and energy. And that leads to, well, peace of mind.
It feels like shifting from being reactive, just trying to keep up, to being intentional, directing your energy where you choose.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Simplifying isn't lazy, it's strategic. It increases effectiveness and well-being by focusing energy and freeing you from the stress of the undone.
Yeah.
It's just a more peaceful way to operate.
Right. So let's pull this all together. That overwhelming list, it's real. It causes stress, anxiety, paralysis, often because of things like perfectionism or just feeling swamped. But the key insight is you don't have to drown in it. Simple methods, limiting your focus with Today Not Today or 135, prioritizing with Eisenhower, so important stuff gets done before it's urgent, breaking big tasks down, just starting, plus building good habits like a morning routine and decluttering. These are real strategies.
They fundamentally change your relationship with your tasks and your time. You go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling like you're steering the ship.
And that's where the real peace comes in, right? finishing your planned work, and then genuinely relaxing, connecting, enjoying things, knowing the rest is intentionally set aside.
It's powerful. It's giving yourself permission, really. Self-compassion in action.
Okay, so here's something to chew on based on all this. If choosing not to do things today is actually key to being present, effective, and peaceful,
Yeah.
how might redefining success away from doing everything towards doing what matters change how you live? What's maybe one thing, just one, you could consciously move to your not today list right now, just to see how that little bit of intentional calm feels?